Hello everybody, it's Shady here, and today I want to talk about the new Steam hardware, specifically the Steam Machine. So yeah, as we all kind of expected, with all the rumors, Valve was going to make an actual console type hardware, or a mini PC to plug into your TV to give a console-like experience. I feel like it was obviously the natural evolution of the Steam Deck, with it being so popular and with SteamOS just working so well with the controller, and managing to kind of combine the controller and kind of PC interface very well. Yeah, so this thing was just shadow dropped yesterday. There was a video from Digital Foundry who got a hands-on as well, which is really awesome. And yeah, it's coming out apparently Q1 2026, so kind of not that far away. Some of the most interesting parts about the hardware though, first of all, the specs itself, it's like around PS5, not quite to that level, mainly because I believe they're going for affordability, similar to like what they did with the Steam Deck, but obviously I think it's not going to be the biggest issue because you look at what the Steam Deck is capable of playing, I don't think this thing's going to have an issue. I think it's going to be able to play most of the big AAA games. Maybe not the best settings, but yeah, your average game, you're probably looking at like, 1440p 60. Indie games will easily be 4K, stuff like that. So, and the older titles will be 4K 60, I think. So yeah, but it's exciting times. Another thing, obviously, was they kind of announced a controller alongside it that will come with it, which looks really good. It's much better than the kind of original Steam controller. Obviously, back in 2014 or 2015, I believe it was, Valve did kind of launch this, what was also called the Steam Machines, but these were basically OEM devices made by other people, other original equipment manufacturers, using their Steam OS or their kind of early version of Steam OS. Obviously, this time around, it's made by Valve itself, the hardware, so yeah, I'm assuming they're going to subsidize it a little bit because obviously it's going to be, even though it's a PC and you can do kind of other things with it, you're mainly going to be using it to play your Steam library. And if it brings more people to Steam, especially with kind of Xbox's pivot now towards this kind of similar sort of strategy, it makes sense for Valve to come out first, establish the market, similar to what they did with the Steam Deck, and yeah, have a good foothold. A couple of things I want to kind of mention that I think need to be done better than what they did with the Steam Deck was, first of all, there needs to be more of these things available. They need to be able to get them out quick, and they need to make sure that they're available in major retailers, at least in Amazon, like in America, you'd have like Best Buys, whatever the equivalent would be over here, I suppose. We've got Game, but that's not really as much of a thing anymore. We don't really have a big gaming retail chain, but as long as you can have it on the online sites and stuff, I think it'd be really good. Make it available to more people, because that's obviously the key advantage that Microsoft's going to have over them, is that they're going to be able to get these things to big retailers, and they're going to, they can pull some strings and get things out there more, and probably get more of these things developed. So that's why I think Steam need to kind of make sure that they do that as well. But yeah, there was also another bit of hardware as well, the Steam Frame, which is essentially a VR headset that apparently, the big thing about this is it's, even though it's a VR headset, it's essentially can allow you to play Steam games on what is essentially mobile architecture, which has big implications, obviously, meaning that, this could eventually mean that like Android, possibly even iOS devices can play your Steam library to a certain capacity, natively, potentially, which is awesome. I don't know about Apple, but definitely on Android devices, it will probably be a thing. So yeah, all really great stuff. And yeah, I'm very excited for this. Going to be definitely picking one up day one. Yeah, I love the Steam Deck. Such a great device. And what's good about this is, I don't have to hook up my Steam Deck to a TV now. I can have a slightly more powerful box. that just looks cool and hooks up to the thing. I love what people have called it now. It's called the Gabe Cube because it kind of looks like a GameCube, which is awesome. Like, it's got a really cool design, and the front faceplate is interchangeable because it's like this magnetic thing. So they've already shown off a couple of cool things. So I'm hoping that we get some pretty cool ones out there, so we can customize these boxes, make them look cool. And yeah, I just hope that this thing does well, because I think this is something that the PC space has needed, a good, affordable, like, even though it's unupgradable, I think you can upgrade the RAM, which is one thing, and the storage. But besides that, I think this is the kind of device that the PC space is needed to kind of entice console gamers, and, you know, to have a pre-built that's affordable, and, you know, just runs well on a TV. Yeah, and I think this thing will be pretty good, and I expect it to do pretty well as well. So yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much all my thoughts really. I'm really excited for it. Can't wait to get one and try it out for myself. Hopefully do a review for the channel, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great day.